Have you ever noticed how much attention we give to things when they go wrong? But when something is quietly growing and improving, we don't seem to pay much attention. There's an old Persian proverb that captures this perfectly. When a tree falls, everyone hears the sound, but when a tree grows, no one hears it. This saying is so simple, yet so powerful. It's a reminder that the big, dramatic moments in life tend to grab all of our attention. But the quiet, steady growth, the real progress, is often overlooked, and this applies to so many areas of our lives. Think about it. When you make a mistake or when something bad happens, it's loud. Everyone around you notices, comments, and maybe even criticizes. But when you're slowly improving yourself, learning, working hard, and growing as a person, it often goes unnoticed. It's quiet. No one's clapping for you, no one's cheering, but that doesn't mean it's any less important. Growth is quiet but powerful. When we look at a tree falling, it makes a huge sound, it crashes to the ground, and the impact is obvious. It's a big moment. But that same tree, when it's growing, stretching its roots deeper into the soil and reaching its branches higher towards the sky, doesn't make any noise. Yet, that growth is what sustains the tree. It's the foundation of its strength and existence. Growth in our lives is very much the same. Whether it's learning new skills, developing better habits, or working on relationships, these things happen quietly over time. There are no immediate results, no applause, and no fanfare. But without this steady growth, we wouldn't get anywhere. Think about a student learning a new subject. At first, they struggle, and it's hard to understand. Maybe they fail a test or don't do well on an assignment, and everyone seems to notice. But over time, as they continue to study, practice, and learn, their understanding deepens. They get better grades, but no one notices the hours they spent studying or the quiet moments of learning. The failure was loud, but the progress was silent. The noise of failure versus silence of success. Let's take another example. Someone trying to lose weight or improve their health. When they slip up, maybe they eat something unhealthy or skip a workout, it feels like the failure is obvious. They might feel like they've failed, and maybe they even hear comments from people around them. But every day that they eat healthy, exercise, and make small improvements, there's no immediate reward. It's quiet. No one says, "Wow, look at how disciplined you've been today." But slowly, over time, their body changes, their health improves, and they become stronger. This shows us that we often give more importance to the loud, obvious moments of failure or loss, but forget that success, growth, and improvement happen quietly, in the background, and this is where real change happens. The lesson here is clear. Don't let the lack of noise during your growth fool you into thinking that progress isn't happening. Just because people aren't noticing, or because you don't see immediate results, doesn't mean you aren't moving forward. The power of patience and persistence. One of the most important things this proverb teaches us is the value of patience. When we plant a seed, we don't expect it to become a tree overnight. We understand that growth takes time. But in our own lives, we often become impatient. We want instant results. We want success to happen now, and we get discouraged when we don't see it right away. But just like a tree, our growth requires time, care, and patience. It may not be visible every day, but every small step you take toward your goal is progress. Every time you choose to keep going, even when no one's watching, you're building something strong and lasting. Just like how a tree's roots grow deep into the earth before it becomes visible, our progress often starts beneath the surface. Let's look at the example of starting a new business. In the early days, you might feel like you're putting in so much effort, but seeing little to no results. You're working long hours, investing time and energy, and it feels like no one notices. But over time, your hard work begins to pay off. The business starts to grow, customers come in, and people start noticing your success. But they didn't see all the quiet moments when you were planting the seeds. Those moments when you were making small, consistent efforts that led to your success. Celebrating quiet progress. So, how can we learn to value the quiet progress in our own lives? First, we need to celebrate the small wins. Often, we're so focused on the big goals that we forget to acknowledge the little victories along the way. Did you manage to stick to your workout routine for a week? Celebrate that. Did you spend an hour reading and learning something new today? That's a win. These small steps are like the roots of the tree growing deeper, even if no one else notices. Secondly, we must shift our mindset. Instead of focusing on how fast we're growing or comparing ourselves to others, we need to focus on steady improvement. Growth isn't about making noise. It's about becoming better, stronger, and more capable over time. Take the example of relationships. Building trust with someone doesn't happen overnight. It's not a dramatic moment that suddenly makes a friendship or relationship stronger. It's the small, everyday actions, listening, being kind, showing up when it matters, that build trust over time. These actions are quiet, but they're what sustain and grow a meaningful relationship. Embrace the journey, not just the destination in a world where we often only see the highlights of other people's lives. It's easy to forget that growth is a journey. Social media shows us the tree-falling moments, the big successes, the promotions, the celebrations, but what we don't see are the quiet, unseen moments of growth that led up to those achievements. We don't see the struggles, the failures, or the persistence that made that success possible. That's why it's so important to embrace your own journey. Understand that progress is often invisible. It's happening in the small, everyday choices you make. It's happening when you choose to keep learning, keep working, and keep growing, even when no one else notices. So, the next time you feel like your efforts are going unnoticed, remember the tree that grows quietly, day by day. Just because no one hears it doesn't mean it's not happening. Your growth is real, even if it's silent. The Persian proverb teaches us an important truth. Not all progress is loud. In fact, the most meaningful growth often happens quietly beneath the surface. So embrace the silence. Trust the process. And remember, just because others don't hear the sound of your growth doesn't mean it's not happening. Keep nurturing yourself, keep making progress, and one day the results will speak for themselves.